Hello everyone, it's me Sanjay Vasu back again for another video. This time I'm doing it on Cambridge IGCSE Mathematics Paper 2 extended for October/November 2021. By the way, this is the third variant of this paper. Let's start. Question 1. Write 26 grams as a percentage of 208 grams. That will be 26 by 208 into 100%. 26 by 208 is actually 1 by 8. Into 100%, you get 12.5%. That's the answer. Question 2. The diagram shows two parallel lines intersecting a straight line. Find the value of x. So this angle will also be 132 degrees because these two are corresponding angles. So x will be equal to 180 minus 132 degrees since these add to 180 degrees. So that will be equal to 48 degrees. Question 3. 11, 13, 15, 17, 19. From the list, write down a number that is both a prime number and factor of 195. So in the prime numbers, there's 11, 13, 17, 19. 15 cannot be counted. Factors of 195 are 1 into 195, then 3 into 65, and then 5 into 39, and then we go to 13 into 15. These are the only four ways to get 195. And 13 is a factor, right? That's a number over here. So 13 is the answer. There's no other number out of these which is both prime and factor 195. 15 is not prime, so it can't be the answer. Question 4. A. Put a ring around each of the symbols that make this statement correct. 0.5-5%. 5% is 0.05, right? So that means this can be greater than and also not equal to. So these two symbols will work. B. Insert one pair of brackets to make the statement correct. 7 minus 3 minus 1 plus 2 is equal to 7. So there's only one answer, which is this bracket over here, which I will draw. Why? Because 3 minus 1 is 2, and 7 minus 2 plus 2 is equal to 7, right? And that's what we need. So this is the only answer. Question 5. Nina changes 153 euros into dollars when the exchange rate is $1 equals 0.9 euros. Calculate the amount Nina receives. So 0.9 euros equals $1. That means 153 euros will be 153 divided by 0.9. That's all we need to do. So let's get our calculator out. 153 divided by 0.9. That'll be $170. That's the answer. Let's go to question 6. Maverick buys a computer for $420. He sells it at a loss of 15%. Calculate the selling price of this computer. So it's loss of 15%, meaning that it's 85% of the original price. 85% of the original price. So that would be 85 by 100 into the original price for $20. We can cancel 1 0 like that. We can cancel 5, 17, and 2. We can cancel the 2. So 17 into 21, which will be equal to $351. That's the answer. Question 7. Simplify 32g to the power 32 by 4g to the power 4. That will be equal to 8 because 32 by 4 is equal to 8. 8g to the power of 32 minus 4 due to exponent laws. If you do not know, I will just tell you right now, which is n to the power of a divided by n to the power of b is equal to n to the power of a minus b. This is exponent law. And that's why 32 minus 4 over here, because g to the power 32 divided by g to the power 4. G to the power 32 minus 4, which is g to the power 28, and multiplied by 8 to get this. That's the answer. Question 8. Beatrice walks 1 kilometer at the speed of 4 kilometers per hour and 2 kilometers at the speed of 4.5 kilometers per hour. Work out Beatrice's average speed for the full journey. So time taken for part 1, which is 1 kilometer at the speed of 4 kilometers per hour, that will be equal to distance by speed. So 1 kilometer will be 4 kilometers per hour, which is 0.25 hours. So time taken for part 2 will be 2 kilometers by 4.5 kilometers per hour. That will be equal to 0.4 with a dot on top, hours, if we did it correctly, which means 0.44444444, it just goes on. So the average speed for the full journey will be average speed is equal to total distance by total time. That will be equal to 1 plus 2, which is 3 kilometers, by 0.25 plus 0.4444, 0.694 hours. That will be equal to, let's get our calculator out. Let's just estimate this to 3 divided by 0.694. Just do that. It'll be approximately 4.3 kilometers per hour. That's the answer. Let's go to question number 9. Write the recurring decimal 0.27 as a fraction. So we can write that x is equal to 0.272727. We can write this decimal like that. That means 100x is equal to 27.2727 dot dot dot. And now 100x minus x is equal to 27.2727 minus 0.272727, like that. And why? Because if you subtract x to both sides, x is equal to this value, so that's how you do it. So that means 99x equals 27, x equals 27 by 99, which is equal to 3 by 11. That's the answer. Question 10. These are the first 4 terms of a sequence. 3 minus 1 minus 5 minus 9. A. Find the next term in the sequence. The term-to-term rule is minus 4. So the next one's minus 9 minus 4, which is minus 13. B. Find the nth term. The nth term, because the term-to-term rule is minus 4, the nth term will contain minus 4n. Now if we take n equals 1, minus 4n will be minus 4. 4n equals 1. But then it's supposed to be 3. And if we add 7 to minus 4, we get 3. So minus 4n plus 7, or 7 minus 4n, this is the nth term. You can substitute values of n equals 2, n equals 3, n equals 4, and you will get these values over here. That's the answer. Question 11. P equals m into g squared plus h squared. A. Find the value of p when m equals 100, g equals 3, and h equals 4.5. So that means p will be equal to 100 into 3 squared plus 4.5 squared. That will be equal to 100 into 9 plus 20.25. That will be equal to 100 into 29.25, which is 2,925. That's the answer. 4.5 squared, by the way, is 20.25. That's why I've written that. B. Rearrange the formula to write G in terms of P, M, and H. That simply means G is the subject. That's how we need to make it. So P by M is equal to G squared plus H squared, bring M to the other side. Now you can write G squared is equal to P by M minus H squared. And now to write for G, so G will be equal to the square root of P by M minus H squared. And because this is a square root, that's why we have plus or minus here. And this is the answer, which is G is equal to plus or minus square root of P by M minus H squared. That's our answer. Let's go to question 12. Without using a calculator, work out 11 by 12 plus 3 by 4. You must show all your working and give your answer as mixed number in simplest form. So 3 by 4 can be written as 9 by 12. So 11 by 12 plus 9 by 12 will be the equivalent. So 20 by 12. 20 by 12 is equal to 5 by 3 when simplified, which is 1, 2 by 3. That's all you have to do. And to be honest with you, I don't know why this is 3 marks, because this is like a 4th grade question. That's the answer. Question 13. Calculate 0.04 squared plus 0.03 into 0.28. Give your answer in standard form. 0.04 squared will be 0.0016. And 0.03 into 0.28 will be equal to, let's get our calculator out. By the way, just 0.04 squared, yeah, 0.0016. And now 0.03 into 0.28, that's 0.0084. So that will be equal to if you add it up, 0.01, which is equal to 1 into 10 to the power of minus 2. That's the answer. Let's go to question 14. Question 14, A. Complete the statement P union Q is equal to dash. Well, P union Q is everything inside the two circles P and Q, which has B, C, D, E, F, and G. So that's what we need to write. That's the answer. B. Find n of Q. That means the number of objects inside Q, which are 1, 2, 3, 4. So n of Q is equal to 4. C. Find n of P prime intersection of Q. That means everything outside P, get rid of P, everything outside P, intersection of Q. So that means it's only this part over here. Or, I'll just show it clearer, this part. And that means there's 3, E, F, and G. So n of P prime intersection Q is 3. Question 15. The cost of a train journey is increased by 6% to a new cost of $153.70. Calculate the original cost of the train journey. So if it's increased by 6%, that'll be 106% of the original, which I'll call X. That's equal to 153.70. That means 1.06x equals $153.70. And X is equal to 153.70 divided by 1.06, which is equal to, let's get our calculator out. Here we go. 153.70 divided by 1.06, we get $145. That's the answer. Question 16. Joe and Mo share $26. Joe receives $5 more than Mo. Find the ratio Joe's money is to Mo's money. Give your answer in simplest form. So if Mo gets X dollars, that means Joe gets X plus $5. So that means the total is $26 out of these two people. So X plus 5 is equal to 26. 2x plus 5 equals $26. And now 2x is equal to $21. X is equal to $10.5, which is Mo's money. And now Joe's money, first I'll just write this Mo's money. Now Joe's money will be $10.5 plus 5, which is $15.5. So Joe's money is to Mo's money. That ratio will be 15.5 is to 10.5, which is multiplying by 2 to get whole numbers. 31 is to 21. That's the answer. Question 17. Each interior angle of a regular polygon is 178.5 degrees. Calculate the number of sides of this polygon. So if the interior angle is 178.5, that means the exterior angle equals 180 minus interior angle, which is equal to 180 minus 178.5, 1.5 degrees. Very small, right? Now the number of sides, or n, of this polygon, that will be 360 by 1.5, because that's the exterior angle, right? 360 by exterior angle is number of sides. So 360 by 1.5, which will be 240 sides. That's a lot of sides. Anyway, that's the answer. Question 18. Find the equation of the straight line that passes through the points 2, minus 2, and 3, 10. Give your answer in the form y equals mx plus c. So first we can find m. M is equal to y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. Let's say this is point number 2, this is point number 1, right? So this is y2, this is y1. So that will be 10 minus 2 by x2 minus x1, which is 3 minus 2. So 3 minus 2. That will be 12 by 1, which is equal to 12. That's the gradient. Now we can substitute the values of m equals 12 and then the x and y values of any of these points. So let's put this point, the first point in. Minus 2 is equal to 12 into 2 plus c. Minus 2 is equal to 24 plus c. Minus 2 minus 24 equals c. C is equal to minus 26. So that means y is equal to 12x minus 26. That's the answer. Let's go to question 19. The diagram shows the sector of a circle, center or radius 12.6 centimeters. Calculate the perimeter of the shaded segment. First, since this 12.6 is the radius, that means this length is also the radius, right? 12.6 centimeters here as well. So we can find the curved length by using the formula arc of a sector is equal to 2 pi r. By the way, arc means length of arc here. I just write length of arc, L of arc, 2 pi r multiplied by theta by 360. Theta is the angle of the sector, in this case 80 degrees. That's equal to 2 pi into 12.6 into 80 by 360. So that will be equal to, let's get our calculator out. Here we go. 2 into pi into 12.6 into 80 divided by 360. We get 17.59 centimeters. The two decimal places, obviously. Now, we need to find this straight line. Then we can find the perimeter of the shaded segment. We can use the cosine rule for this. So, let's just divide this here. Now, the cosine rule is a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos angle A. And that angle A is the angle opposite side A. So we know this angle 80 degrees. So we can say that this is side A. And that's what we need to find. So I'll just say this is A. And b squared plus c squared, the sides B and C are the other two sides, which are these two, which are both 12.6 here. So in this case, a squared is equal to 12.6 squared plus 12.6 squared minus 2 into 12.6 squared, because 12.6 into 12.6 is simply 12.6 squared. And then multiplied by cos of 80. So a squared will be, if we do this, first let's do 12.6 squared plus 12.6 squared. 12.6 squared plus 12.6 squared will be simply into 2, so that will be 317.52 minus, let's do the rest of it, 2 into 12.6 squared, that will be 317.52 again, into the cos of 80. That will be 55.14 to two decimal places. A squared will be equal to, let's do this, 317.52 minus 55.14, which is 262.38. That means A will be root of 262.38, which is 16.2 centimeters to one decimal place. Even if you take it to two decimal places, it'll still be 16.20, which is the same value. So the perimeter, which is P, we'll write 16.2 plus the previous value we found, 17.59, which is equal to 33.79 centimeters. That's the answer. Question 20. A lake has an area of 3 kilometers squared. On a map, the area of the lake is 18.75 centimeters squared. Find the scale of the map in the form 1:n. Okay, so first of all, we can convert these to the same units. So 3 kilometers squared, that will be equal to, as kilometers to centimeters is equal to multiply by 100,000. So that means kilometers squared to centimeters squared, we multiply by 100,000 twice. So we add precisely 10 zeros to the back of the number, which means it's 3 into 10 to the power of 10 centimeters squared. So that's 3 kilometers squared. And now on a map, the area is 18.75 centimeters squared. Okay, so now let's form an equation to find n. So because these units are in square units, that means we have to square root each of these to get the scale value n. So let's say n into the square root of 18.75. That's because n is the scale number. And 18.75 is area, so that's why we do square root. So that will be equal to the square root of 3 into 10 to the power of 10. Now n will be equal to square root of 3 into 10 to the power of 10 by square root of 18.75. And that means n is equal to 3 into 10 to the power of 10 by 18.75, whole thing square root. And let's do that on our calculator. Just divide 3 by 18.75, and then after we get this, multiply by 10 to the power 10, which is 1 followed by 10 zeros. Like that. That will be square root of 1/6 followed by 8 zeros. And that'll be simply 40,000. So n is equal to 40,000. That means the answer is 1 is to 40,000. That's the answer. Let's go to question 21. Simplify fully 243y to the power 10, whole thing to the power 3 by 5. So that will be equal to 243 to the power 3 by 5 multiplied by y to the power 10 whole to the power 3 by 5. So this will be 5th root of 243 whole cubed into y to the power of 10 into 3 by 5. We multiply the powers because of an exponent rule saying so. So that'll be equal to 3 cubed, because 5th root of 243 is 3, multiplied by y to the power of 6, which is 27y to the 6th power. That's the answer. Question 22. Solve the simultaneous equation. You must show all your working. Y equals x squared minus 3x minus 13. Y equals x minus 1. We can equate both of these equations, equation 1, equation 2. So you can substitute x squared minus 3x minus 13 equals x minus 1. That means, let me just bring this to this side a bit. That means x squared minus 4x minus 12 equals 0. And now to solve this equation, we need to find two numbers that multiply to get minus 12 and add up to get minus 4. So let's find the factors of minus 12. It can be minus 12 into 1, minus 6 into 2, minus 4 into 3. Because one of them has to be smaller in magnitude than the other. We can see that minus 4, if you add with 3, it's always a negative number like that. That's what I mean by smaller in magnitude. So over here, which one adds to minus 4? Minus 6 and 2, right? So this is the two numbers. X minus 6 into x plus 2 equals 0. So x equals 6 or x equals minus 2. Now we can substitute this value. Let's just divide this. Now substituting x equals 6 into the equation 2, since it's easier, y equals 6 minus 1, which is equal to 5. 4x equals 6. Now substituting x equals minus 2 into the equation 2, we get y equals x minus 1, which is equal to minus 2 minus 1. That will be minus 3. 4x equals minus 2. So that means x equals 6 and y equals 5, or x equals minus 2 and y equals minus 3. These are the answers. You have to write all four of these values in the correct places. You can swap these two and put it up here and put 6 and 5 down here, so it doesn't matter. But like x and minus 2, y and minus 3 have to be in the same line or the same group, like that. Also, x equals 6, y equals 5 also has to be in the same group. That's the answer. Question 23. The diagram shows a triangular prism. A. Calculate AC, which is this length from one corner to this corner up here. We can use 3D Pythagoras for this one. Since we have a right angle triangle here, like this, ABP, and we have a right angle triangle APC. So you can find this length and use that length to find the length of AC. So first, using triangle ABP, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. That's what Pythagoras says. So 12 squared plus 5 squared is equal to AP squared. So that means 144 plus 25, 169 equals AP squared. AP is equal to root 169, which is equal to 13 centimeters. Now we can go ahead and find AC. So 13 squared plus 4 squared equals AC squared using triangle APC. That means 169 plus 16, which is simply 185. That will be equal to AC squared. And AC is root 185, which is equal to, let's get that calculator out, 185 square root, we get 13.6 centimeters. That's the answer. Let's go to part B. Calculate the angle between AC and the base ABPQ. So we can use trigonometry for this. So if we use the triangle ACP, this angle between AC and AP, or the angle cap, that's the one we need to find. So we know that AP is 13 centimeters. AC is 13.6 centimeters. That's the one decimal place, by the way. Now we can find out the angle using some trig formula, or trigonometry formula in full form. Let's say that this is the angle. That means this is the hypotenuse, this is the adjacent, this is the opposite. In SOHCAHTOA, you can use any of the three trigonometric formulas here to find the angle. I'll be using hypotenuse and adjacent, which is cos formula. This is sine and this is tan. You can use them using this side and this side for sine, and this side and this side for tan. I'll be using the cos formula. So cos theta will be equal to adjacent by hypotenuse. So that means cos of angle cap will be equal to adjacent, which is 13, by hypotenuse, 13.6. And that means cos of angle cap will be, let's get our calculator out, 13 divided by 13.6, which is equal to 0.9558 dot dot dot. And that means angle cap will be equal to cos inverse of this value. That means it'll be equal to, let's just do that, 17.1 degrees to 1 decimal place. That's the answer. Let's go to question 24. Tan x is equal to root 3 and 0 less than equal to x less than equal to 360 degrees. Find all the possible values of x. So first of all, let's find x between 0 and 90. X will be tan inverse of root 3. So that means x can be, let's get our calculator. Let's find the square root of 3, 1.732 dot dot dot, and then we do the tan inverse. We get 60. You don't have to use the calculator though to find this, because you might remember some tan formulas or some trigonometric formulas for angle equals 0, 30, 45, 60, and 90. So we know that tan inverse of root 3 will be 60. But then this is not the only value for x. So actually the tan graph repeats itself every 180 degrees. Let's say there's minus 180, 0, 180. So in minus 180, it goes like that. And at minus 90, it goes from here like that, and it goes up to 90 degrees here. And then from 90 degrees, it goes down, and then 180 degrees. Yeah, like that. And then if this is at 270 degrees, it'll go all the way to the top. That's why it's undefined at 90 degrees, because it does not actually equal 90 degrees, but it approaches 90 degrees. But that's not the point. You just saw that it repeats every 180 degrees, right? So that means x can also be 60 plus 180, which is equal to 240 degrees. So it's 60 and 240 in degrees, of course. That's the answer. Question 25. Simplify 3x squared minus 18x by ax minus 6a plus 2cx minus 12c. We can first factorize this. So this will be equal to, let's factorize the numerator, 3x into x minus 6 by a into x minus 6, factorizing the denominator, plus 2c into x minus 6. We can see that there's x minus 6 everywhere, right? So that means we can first of all add up the denominator things, which will be a plus 2c into x minus 6, right? So that will be canceling the x minus 6, 3x by a plus 2c. And this is the maximum we can simplify it without knowing any of the variables, or at least the values of the variables. That's the answer. Question 26. ORT is a triangle. X is a point on TR so that TX is to XR equals 3 is to 2. O is the origin. OR is equal to R vector. OT in that direction is equal to vector T. Find the position vector of X. Give your answer in terms of R and T in simplest form. First, let's find vector TR. So to get from T to R, we can go from T to O and O to R. T to O, or TO, is the negative of vector T. So that means TR will be minus T plus R, because negative in T direction, R in the positive proper direction. So that means it can be written as simply R minus T, right? Now, if Tx is to XR equals 3 is to 2, Tx will be 3 by 5 of the total, XR will be 2 by 5 of the total, because there's a total of 5 parts, right? So 3 parts out of 5 is simply 3 by 5, Tx. And XR would be 2 by 5 of the total, because 2 parts out of total 5. So that means, let's just find Tx, because O is the origin. We can find position vector of X with respect to O, like this. Go OT and TX. So let's find TX. TX will be 3 by 5 of R minus T, because it's 3 by 5 of TR. So that means the position vector of X, position vector, will be equal to T plus 3 by 5 of R minus T. That will be equal to 3 by 5 R minus 3 by 5 T plus T, which is 3 by 5 R plus 2 by 5 T. We can write it like that. You can also write this as 1 by 5 into 3R plus 2T. That also works out correct. So that's the answer. And with that, I come to the end of the paper and the video. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel, share this video with your friends and family, and comment on how you think this video was. And with that, it's me, Sanjay Basu, signing off. Thank you. Bye.